And welcome to Assembly Update. I'm Ted Flint. Joining us today, Assemblyman Michael Novikov, who serves the 45th Assembly District, which includes Kings County. Assemblyman Novikov, good to see you.
Good to see you, Ted.
Let us discuss the American-Israeli attack on Iran. The missile strike took out the supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, his wife, and about 40 of his top brass in the Iranian Guard. Let me get your overall reaction to it, and we'll go from there.
I think, Ted, I think that President Trump and our military did what we had to do a long time ago. I'll be honest with you, because we, unfortunately, without having any action, we in the past we empowered the terrorist state, and I love people of Iran, and I think we are we need freedom for them as well, and for the whole civilized world from the terrorist government of ayatollahs. So I'm very thankful to Trump's administration for making a decision, and personally to President Trump, because this is not an easy decision to make. Trust me.
Oh, for sure. You mentioned you love the Iranian people. There's something circulating on social media, an Iranian gentleman saying he loves Iran, the Iranian people. He loves Israel. He loves the United States, and he's just praying for peace. And in a perfect world, would have that peace. But as you mentioned, the president took steps that every administration going back decades has promised to get rid of this regime. Leading state sponsor of terror, they bankroll Hamas and Hezbollah and terrorist organizations around the world. The president did it. He stepped up. He made a very tough decision. So far as we record this, 6 U.S. servicemen have been killed, others injured, and the president warned there'll be casualties. In every war, there are casualties, unfortunately.
Yes, Ted, and unfortunately, there will be casualties among our military personnel. Unfortunately, there will be casualties among the civilians in Iran, in Israel, probably in other places, in Iran's neighbors. But yes, war is not something that we want. Sometimes war is something that we need. Unfortunately,
Right.
when we let the terrorist state, I mean, just imagine the situation where Iran builds the nuclear
Right.
weapons, does their nuclear program. That's a threat to the whole world, and we already have, uh, the state which has the largest number of nukes, and that's Russia. And this is why it is so hard to negotiate Ukraine with Russia.
Russia does, as you mentioned, have designs on the Middle East, as does China. China imports about 70% of its oil from the Persian Gulf region. So, I mean, is this part of a larger geopolitical struggle, do you think, between and among the U.S., China, and Russia? How do you see it?
Yes, I believe so, and I think that it's a very it's a unique strategy, to hit the Ayatollah's regime, and uh, at the same time, it weakens China and Russia in its war against Ukraine, because Iran was one of the largest partners with Russia, going against Ukraine. So this is a very interesting strategic combination that President Trump is kind of playing out, and it's a big risk. It's a big risk because Iran. I mean, you can't compare Iran, let's say, to Venezuela, right? The power, the military power. So it's a huge risk for President Trump. And Ted, I mean, listen, our president is almost 80 years old. I mean, he looks great, thank God. But yeah, but he's almost 80 years old, and he has everything. I mean, he's a wealthy, successful businessman. He's a president of the United States the second time. And not every president, not every man take such a risk, would go for, you know, into such an operation, such a difficult such a difficult operation. In why he needs it, because he understands that um, um, it's only him. No one will be able to do this. You know, I would say that. You gotta have balls for that. I'm saying that openly. You gotta have balls for that, and our president does have those balls for that. You know.
He is fearless. He's resolute for sure. Now, I'm curious, how have your Democratic colleagues across the aisle, how have they responded to this attack?
So we're trying not to discuss this in the chamber. Nobody. But it seems that not everyone is happy with this decision, which I do not understand, because I think we have to be united today more than ever, because
Right.
we're fighting, we and our partner Israel, we're fighting uh, the most demonic regime in the world, and we have to be together in that. And when I hear words of Mayor Mamdani protecting Iranian regime, when I read New York Times saying that he was a strong conservative leader, I mean, come on, he was a murderer.
Hmm.
He murdered 30,000 people just recently protesting.
Right.
And
Right.
it's when I see people protesting on the streets of New York City, they're protesting the fact that the leader of the bloody regime that killed 30,000 protesters, same
Right.
as they're protesters. Like, what are they protesting about?
These are some of the same people who are protesting, the No Kings rally. Yet they want to
Yes,
defend it's like it
yes.
makes no sense.
And the real
They're not
king is
consistent.
Ayatollah. That's the
Right.
real king. If they want no kings, you know, they shouldn't protest us getting rid of Ayatollah, because
Right.
the guy was ruling the country for, so many years. Nothing good came out of it. Look at
Right.
the people. Look at the struggling. Look at why people came to protest in Iran, because um, the economy is extremely weak.
Right.
People just cannot make ends meet. I mean, we're talking, often about Americans cannot make ends meet, but you cannot compare. You cannot compare what's going on in Iran.
For sure. Yeah.
People are struggling,
Yeah.
and there's no, freedom of speech. There's not even sign of democracy. If you remember that famous photograph from 1983, 10 women where 10 women were hanged just because their religion was a bit different. That's
Yeah.
and when you see Congress members like Rashida Tlaib, who's saying that she's not even when she says about the United States, she says they.
Right.
You
She
know,
doesn't. Right.
she's not even considering herself a part of the United States of America, and she's representing United States in the U.S. Congress.
Yeah.
That's insane,
It's,
Ted.
it's
That's
unconscionable.
insane.
Unconscionable. You mentioned the Iranian people. I'm sure you've seen these reports and videos of the Iranian people just overjoyed. Most of them, as to what happened. I mean, they are happy. They believe they're going to get their freedom, and let's hope and pray they do.
Let's hope and let's pray they will do get their freedom without many civilian casualties. But any revolution, any war, unfortunately, is impossible without casualties. And I really hope that we, the Americans, it doesn't matter if we're Republicans or Democrats, we're the Americans, and we have to unite against that evil. the worst thing you can do is to gain political points today, criticizing Republicans, criticizing President Trump for the right thing that he did. And again, he's the only man on earth to have balls to do what he did. And I have a lot of respect for him for doing that.
It's a great place to end it. With Assemblyman Michael Novikov, you want to get in touch with the Assemblyman, you can do that. Dial him at his Brooklyn office at 718-743-4078. Assemblyman Michael Novikov. We will talk to you, sir, again in a week. Have a good week, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Ted.
Thank you. We'll see you soon on the next edition of Assembly Update. I'm Ted Flint.